What's going on, everyone? It's Andy with the Birdcage Brigade, and this is Let's Take It to Locals. And unlike the last time, this time we will actually be spinning the wheel to see what we're going to take to locals. If you didn't know, last episode I did not spin the wheel. We brought Bella Betty to an off meta, but today we're going to be playing RG Smoker, Red Green Smoker. All right, well, onto the deck profile. Alright, so I got my Red Green Smoker leader, and by the way, guys, I'm trying out this new mount, so if it's a little shaky, let me know in the comments, but I am trying this new mount out, kind of like a necklace, or like something that just goes around your neck. Anyways, starting the deck profile off with a Radical Beam. I just play one of them, the 2 Alt Art Divine Departures. Of course, you know I have to play the alts. 2 10-layer Igloo, it helps me out and saves me a bunch. Moving on, we got 2 Gum Gum Mole Pistols. They help me out a lot with the power reduction and the removal aspects of my deck. And we got the Otamas, the 2K Otamas. You know it's always good to play that in a red deck. For the Punk Hazard stuff, we're going to play the Virgo. Virgo's great as a searcher. On to the next thing, which is the Rosinante. Sadly, cannot be searched out by Virgo, but it is a good card nonetheless for our kid. Oh, spoiler. We play the 2 Baccarat, which in one game you will see how good Baccarat is. Onto the Punk Hazard Sanji. Great card. I love this card. Draws you 1 on KO. Moving on to the Tashigis. The Tashigis help out with all of the green cards that you have to protect it. It's also a good 2K. Speaking of 2Ks, the Tony Chopper Blocker, the one in Sanji's body. I'm going to start pushing them all to the sides now that I'm starting to get this big clumpy pile. Onto the smokers, of course, the bread and butter, the combo, the thing that you need in a smoker deck, alongside with 2 carrots just to tech in. It's nice. And speaking of my tech, I'm running 1 of the Monkey D. Luffy Rush from ST21. It's good. If I see it, I get it, and it's a great rush unit, but if not, no worries. On to the Ben Beckmans. I feel like that's a red staple right now. If you're playing a red deck, you're playing Beckman. I'm playing 3 Hody Jones. 4 is a lot, 3 is a sweet spot, and as well with the kids, 4 is a lot, 3 is a sweet spot, and that's the deck. So let's get into the games. And starting off, we're going to be playing against Blue Doflamingo, which is really cool. I haven't played against them in a while, so it'll be a good refresher match for that matchup. I'm starting off first, and I believe our friend Ian chose to go second. This was a great back and forth match. I think the trick here for me was just trying to outgrind him and out-tempo him. I decided to play a bunch of blockers early on, and then a lot of my KO stuff. Basically, I saw all the things that I needed to see when I needed to see them, so I was just playing on curve. His stuff was interacting with my cards as well, bouncing all of my small guys with his laws throughout the middle section of the game, but I think without KOing them or putting them into my deck again, I just played him out, and then later on my blocker Rosinante, so I ended up just playing him later on. But yeah, it was a lot of tempo. I think he just gravity bladed me, so he does start seeing more of his stuff. I am starting to panic a little bit, but you know, I'm getting through it. I play out my smoker and my Beckman, KOing all of his stuff out. So again, it was a lot of back and forth tempo and grinding, and it was a great game. It really was. And it's back to him. He's about to play out a Teach, I believe. Teach, and then into the Jozu. Jozu's going to bounce a Perona and bounce my smoker, which was very sad. He attacked, I countered, and then I believe he got the Edward out to draw a card into play. He gets a card. It's my turn. Play my smoker out again. And I swung with the Beckman. I then play a Carrot alongside a Baccarat. And Baccarat is such a great card, and here in a little bit you'll see why. Ian plays Perfume Femur, attaching it to his Teach. He then swings with the Teach, and then Baccarat, of course, I use the effect to get out of that, which saves me. I do end up taking 2 other attacks, and I believe he plays his Dofi blocker off his leader ability, but it is rested, so he can't use it. And with a bunch of units on my board, I restand and then swing with Smoker for game. And on to the next match with the homie AJ, and he himself is representing the Birdcage Brigade, playing his Grape Dofi, Purple Green Dofi, the Birdcage Dofi, and I was so excited. We never get to play each other at this locals, but I believe I started off first playing the Virgo. He plays the Sugar, I try to play the Sanji, he rests it, I get rid of the sugar. Onto my turn, I grab a die just so that way I can remind myself of the smoker effect on his turn. But I start out with a Rosinante. I swing to his life for 6 with my Sanji and then 9 with my smoker. He uses an event to counter and search out his Birdcage. And of course, he's going to get the Birdcage, so that way I can't play my lower end stuff, but that's fine. The best thing about Smoker is that I get to play my high end, and I'm able to kind of work my way around Birdcage. I'll lose my rested like Sanji, but you know, I'll at least get the draw. And in this game, I end up swinging big a lot because I know that Dofi has all of the events that end up giving him a 9,000, 10,000 power. So yeah, I think that is the strategy here, is just to swing tall or swing big, whatever people say nowadays, but swing with big numbers so that way you end up taking cards out of their hand in the process. Now onto AJ's turn, and I believe he plays out the sugar, the searcher sugar, right around here. Yep, there it is. He gets the 10 cost Dofi, adds it to his hand, and at that point I'm like, oh man, he has the Birdcage. If I attack and swing with my bigger stuff, then he'll rest those. So yeah, you know, we wait for that and we kind of plan our attacks accordingly. I didn't talk about this previously, but I do have the kid out. I put him to the side so that way I can play the smoker. After I play a smoker, I rest the Don, or I stand the Don that were rested back up to play a Sanji blocker. The Sanji blocker is very important, just so that way I have coverage. It's his turn. He ends up playing the sugar. So that way he can search. So he plays the sugar, searches, and I believe he gets out the 8-cost Rosinante, maybe. Let's see what it was. Yeah, the 8-cost Rosinante. Puts that in his hand and then ends up playing it right here, and then he ends up having so much Dawn at the end of his turn, which is scary, but I believe he only had 3 cards in his hand, and I knew that one of them was at least a Dofi, so I play a Beckman so that way I can get the Rosinante out of the way, attack the sugar with my Virgo, and then I sit there and think a little bit so that way I can think of the numbers that I need to do. I end up swinging 9 with my smoker, getting the cards out of his hand, and then swinging 8, and then I end up swinging 9 with my kid. I think I forget to attach the Don, but AJ was cool about it. And then I swing with my leader, getting a card out of his hand. I believe he has 2 cards in his hand left. He plays the Dofi. He stuns my things, and then I end up swinging with the Beckman to get, and he does take that life, and then I end up swinging with my blocker chopper, I believe, right there for the game, and boom, fist bump, and on to the next round. And for our final match, I am playing my cousin Angel. We were both undefeated. This is the top table. This is the last round of the locals. And the tension is so thick that you can even hear it here, like right here. All right. Okay. So starting off, I believe I'm going first, and I play the Virgo to a whiff, sadly, so I put the cards back and passing turn, which was a quick one because he didn't have a searcher, so he passed it back to me. For my 3-Don turn, I play my Sanji. His turn, he goes and plays out his launching out that beautiful alt art Frankie and swinging at 7 with his leader. He passes back to me, and then I put 1 Don on my Sanji, and I swing for 7, getting 2 cards out of his hand, which is great. And then I go ahead and play the Tony Chopper, the blocker, and then I use leader effect to stand Don up and then swing 7 with my own leader, and then he decides to take it. I pass it back to Angel. His turn, he gets his Don up, and then he goes ahead and plays out that Sanji, KOing my chopper, and then he swings 6 with his leader. I decide to take it, no trigger, and then back to my turn. I go and play the Beckman to get rid of his Sanji, a little tit for tat. I also swing with my leader, and then he counters out. And then I go ahead and swing with the Sanji, and then play a Rosinante to end my turn. On to Angel's turn, and he does a big think here. He goes ahead and reduces the cost of my Beckman with his toy soldier, as you can see right there. And then he goes and plays the Sanji to get rid of my Beckman, which was a great turn and a great back and forth. Onto my turn, I go ahead and play out the kid, getting the Baccarat off of his effect. I then go ahead and use leader effect to stand 2 up. I swing with the smoker, and then I swing with the Sanji, getting a card out of his hand and then a card out of his life into his hand. I end my turn with 2 Don up, which means that I have a 10 layer in my hand. I pass turn and on to Angel's turn. He goes and allocates his Dawn. He starts moving him around, and then he goes on with this crazy play. I had no idea. It took me by surprise. He goes and plays the Gum Gum Lightning to take out my Baccarats. And then he goes and then decides to play Top Knot to get rid of my Rosinante. So I have no blockers left. I have a Kid, I have 2 Dawn up, and I have 3 cards in my hand. He swings with his Sanji, and I do play the 10-layer Igloo, reducing the power of his attack, and then it's on to my turn. And as I close this game out, I want to thank all of you guys for watching, subscribing, hitting the like and notification buttons, and all of those cool things. This is the last episode of OP10, and these newer episodes of Let's Take It to Locals will be including the EBO2 format, so stay tuned. Keep watching, keep subscribing, and as you can see, I'm attacking with my Sanji, attacked with my leader, and I put everything else on this Hody Jones for the game and going undefeated with Red Green Smoker. Again, guys, thank you so much, and I'll catch you later.